Happy Black History Month. Okay, Black History Month is the whole of, so support African, if you are in this part of, support African businesses alone, and also make our system with our own money. So support black owned business in this month. Okay, the whole Black History Month. If you eat salad, don't eat salad again, go and eat kontomire. And if you eat something, or eat pounded yam, eat ogbono, eat all those things. Yeah, okay, eat palm soup, and go and buy konkonte, go and buy gari. Okay, if you eat, if you give your children spaghetti today, give them, if you give them couscous, give them gari today. Okay, or yam, plantain, go to the African store, go and buy them today. This month, black owned, support the black businesses. Okay. Hello, hi, good morning. Welcome to Family Hotspot Show. Today, I just want to tell you something before I move into the type of courses you can come to Canada or anywhere else. If you do your homework right, you can see that all these developed countries are developing. They keep on developing. So when you're choosing a course with the intentions that you're going to stay, or perhaps explore some of the options those countries has, there are certain courses you don't want to come to these countries with. If you have a plan to stay back, you want to study something that the country will see the benefit, or something the Chinese cannot do, something the Chinese locals will not do. These are some of the courses you want to come and also major in and be good at. When you're going to, for example, you go to Dubai. Dubai even is still discriminating. There are people who are in Dubai, they are in fact slavering, because the jobs they do, Dubai citizens or the locals cannot do. They will not do it. The Dubai locals are just living off the work that the immigrants are coming to the country to do. So in terms of even going to the bank, in terms of sending money, receiving money in Dubai, the locals can, even the bank, anyone working in Dubai can tell you, any foreigner working in Dubai can tell you that sending money or receiving money is not as easy. There are certain banks that are strictly put out there. There are certain banks, certain machines, some locals cannot even go. There are certain machines, like bank machines in Dubai right now, that some of the Africans, or they call them local, foreigners, or they cannot go there, because that is how they want to develop their country. They use immigrants. Every country, when you want to develop and make sure the citizens lives a better life, because of course it's being run by a government or by some entity, or whether it is a system, the system wants their citizens, the people who are qualified to vote, votes for them and likes them, and also be a good citizen. So when you go to Dubai right now, you can go to Dubai and say, I'm going to study a police officer, I'm going as a security agent. You can't do that. So when you're coming to Canada, you need to understand there are certain qualifications that you need to have to come. A lot of people are finding it very difficult to get to secure jobs, and they have settled with menial jobs. Many people in Canada have settled with very small income paying jobs. Why? Because their whole school back in their country is political science. Their whole school back in their country is communication. And you know how we communicate back in our country. It's about knowing about you feeling as you can speak English better than the local people that lives in the country. So when somebody says, I am a communication officer, it is about them being able to speak English, or even the English, the writing is totally different from how they even speak it. So there are certain qualifications or some education that you have to understand that back in our country, they opened up courses to make the universities rich. In fact, to make the educational ministers and all those people that in administration rich. It's not to make the country rich. So when you're coming here with communication, when you're coming here with political science, when you're coming here with things like a city surveyor, when you're coming here with things like procurement and whatever, there's some ridiculous, some professions that when you hear, there's a young lady who says, I'm a bank, I major in banking. What banking? In what? She's a bank manager. So she majored in banking, transaction, understanding the system of banking, the transaction, customers, credibility, customers, and the bank's credibility, learning the ethics in the bank, what works for the bank, customer service. And people say they major in banking. And in here, you don't even need a whole lot of education to work as a teller. And the bankers, they are the same tellers that did certain courses. While you are at the bank, you do a certain course, and then boom, they can take you as a bank manager, or you can take a certain courses in finance. Are you able to sell some of the portfolio? Do you understand the portfolios? Do you understand some of the GICs, the money-making gurus in this country, the system? Some are real estate banker. Some understands how the real estate system works so well. There are so many systems that this country uses in order for them to complete a transaction. So some people specialize in those systems, like a real estate, financial advisories. Financial advisor is based on what can I do for the client to keep their money at the bank. These are the financial advisors at the bank. What can I do? Some people, credit system, they are applying for, these are the financial advisors. And then they have those that are mortgage specialists that are at the bank. And then they have the specialists, those that if you need some loans, big loans. I have a sister who used to work at the bank here, bank manager. She's not just a bank manager, she's at the back end. She's the one approving the big millions loans. She's the one who approves it. The big $1 million credits that people come for constructions, for projects and all those things. She's the one who teaches all these young people that come in as bankers. The bankers are not someone who is just coming to be a teller. Bankers are people that studied specific financial systems that will enable the banks to keep their money. Remember, when you work in a bank, you're helping the bank to keep money in the bank, at the bank. I was doing some savings at the bank. And in Canada, money is stable. Money is stable. The banks don't give because of the other protections and other things that the bank ensure. Your money will never get lost in this bank. There's so many insurance. So when you go to the bank and save your money, we always know this. In Canada, you cannot get more than 2%, 2 point something, 0.5%. So if your money is at the bank, you're not making any money unless you put it in one of those specialists. You go to them and then they teach you. So I was at the bank and I found something that could earn me more interest. So I went to the bank and said, I'll get into the courses. So you need to be very careful what you come here with, because you come here jobless and then you are wondering, Canada, yeah, bre. Listen, if you come here and you think you're coming to compete with my child who is born in Canada, or somebody else's children who are born in Canada, who went into some statistics, speaks very much English, their head is not corrupt, they see things as it is, they don't, they use systems to manipulate, they don't use the brain. The mind can take us far, so they use systems to manipulate, and they use statistic systems that puts in and juggles with numbers. Okay, so I will get into that, but let me tell you this one. Banks don't have a lot of a rate or interest rate. So when I went to the bank, I said, you see that money I need because I found something. Listen, they put me to the back to a specialist. The bank manager spoke to a specialist, and the specialist said, well, what are you going to do with that money? And I said, well, something that will earn me a little bit more money. And then they said, well, guess what? Those people and these things, are they guaranteed and all those, and they convinced me. So they gave me a 10%. I'm like, whoa, at the bank, they give a 10% in here, but because I want to take my money, right? They didn't want me to take my money. So they gave me a deal, and that is what I call dealing. So they gave me a deal, and now it's there. Okay, so these are specialists. They sit at the back. They are specialists. They work for the company. They even have their own firm because they work for the bank. They can host conferences. They can host financial advising, platform. They can host so many things. These are special. So when you are coming from Ghana and you have such experienced banker, and you say, yeah, I'm coming to work at the bank here. My sister, you have my brother. You have a long way to go, because in this country, you are nurtured into becoming. You are not just coming from somewhere. You are nurtured, because the security system is in this part of the world is number one. How safety, how diligent, and how much discipline you are with people's money. It's not the back home where a bank manager actually can sleep with the teller and go into a deal that there's this rich man who is coming to deposit money, and I'll share with you, let me sleep with you, and they will go and hire a flat. That young lady that took the bank manager to court because the deal the guy wants to, the deal they agreed on, the guy was not holding his own end of the deal. So now she doesn't want to go be in a relationship anymore. The bank manager, the girl said, listen, you told me to leave the bank. You can give me this. So these are not, you see, you are coming here with such experience. Even with your Ghanaian experience, you're looking for a job and you come here in Canada and you don't have a Canadian experience, you have a long way to go. You need to change those experiences to a Canadian experience. So they know how, let me tell you something. Canadians are in your country. Every sector, they know how you deal. They know how much you are indisciplined. They understand the system. That's why at certain courses, when you come here with it, it is nothing. Because in that culture, the culture is different, and there are certain jobs that it is a culture. It is human dealing. You are dealing with human directly. So it is a culture. So when you bring in your culture, they understand your culture. They know you can survive here unless you have the experience, unless you are taught, unless you live it practical, unless you practice it. So you come here with those professions, you're not going to get a job. I'm telling you, you will find a lot of people that says, I came with this, but I don't get it. I saw a lot of Indians who have engineer background, but they have a kiosk in a store, in a mall. They have a phone, or they are doing immigration consultant. They are doing other things. They open their own business. Why? Because the culture, their background, the culture they are coming with, they either have to divert or go back to school again. Because the Canadian culture requires you to be taught, because you are dealing with human, the culture, you are dealing with like people. It's a human business, and your culture is actually limited because of the way you see things. That is why you can see that a lot of people are leaving the country, because if you're coming from Dubai as a Dubai citizen, if you're coming from India and you held a position back in India at a higher position, let me tell you something, these countries are not open to foreigners. So foreigners are not treated very nicely. In fact, the culture is totally different. So when they come here, they find it Canada is very diverse. In fact, Canada has the more black people within a certain areas of the law more than other countries. You can find a black person as a lawyer at the big in Dubai. Of course, the language itself will not even allow you to. The culture, a black man speaking to a Dubai citizen, a young lady, they are going to even. So please keep sharing, because as I'm talking about certain countries, it is going. Facebook is all about keynotes and all those things. So keep sharing the video and keep also coming with your comment. That is how you can break through the system also, because I want this to go far. So there are certain things you cannot come here with. That's why I'm giving you the gist of what culture, the way Canada is viewed and seen. Now, if you're coming here, okay, you need to understand the culture, and also what is it that is selling. It's like going to New York, going to US. It's like going to US. You go to US. In US, you find a lot of our great men standing in a store as a security guard. You find a lot of young men or old men as mate. Do you know mate back in Ghana? Mate in Manhattan. Good chiefs, kings driving driving a taxi. There's nothing wrong with that. Why? It is because the system in New York or US, in order for you to be seen and be valuable, you need to do more. If a white person is getting A's, you need to get A+++. You need to have the letter A. After the A, you need to have a plus, and a plus. You need to blow their mind in terms of some areas that the country needs you the most. Some people are specialized because the country is building. They like big stuff. They build roads. Construction is booming. Building houses is booming. Landscaping. These people don't like to use their head to do things. So they use machines. So you need to be that machine. So if you're coming into this country with communication, they beat you. You can't get anywhere. If you're coming to this country as a statistics, whatever, land surveyor, listen, the land surveyors are the city councils and the people that works in the city's children working as a land surveyor because it's a lot of money. If you're coming here as a firefighter, you have been a firefighter or you've been in a public sector as a firefighter or ambulance personnel, you can't come here and with your qualification. Do you know who these people are? These people are geniuses. In fact, one of my friend's son just graduated as a firefighter. He is 30 something. Do you know where he's been? He's been a football player. He is well known because they want a quality. They want someone who is God. They want a God as a firefighter. They want a God as a emergency personnel. Those emergency the emergency cars, the ambulances that we call in, or someone is even working for 911 communication. Listen, you need to understand and be quick because these people's life. I work in a call center. I tried 911 department to get a job there. It is not easy because you need to be able to type quick. Me, I was typing I went and tried. I was typing because, let me tell you something. Ghana cedis is in my head. Pound is in my head. Pound sterling is in my head. All this money. My uncle, my cousin is calling me. This one is calling me. African child is packed with so much problems. Say, you can never focus on one thing. Say, me typing, I was going 40 something words and they need about 60 something words per minute or something like that. Listen, it's not easy to get it, but they make good money. 911 dispatch department, because I work in I'm good with customer service. I'm good with people. I'm just good. You see me on this platform, on this social media. When I want your money, I'll be good, they claim them. When I had a restaurant, the people that work with me, my grandma who work with me, I said, hey, you want pandadiam, I go do one for you. You want ogbono, I not be Nigeria, I go do one for you. You want fry okro, whether it's from East Africa, South Africa, I go on YouTube, I say, oh yes, madam, we have it. I make every food and better than even the locals. So when it comes to speaking to human, I was good, but when it comes to the technical aspect, I could not pass through to a 911 dispatch department to get a job. Listen to me. So how much more you who is coming from Africa? There are certain jobs that are left for the immigrant. And the immigrants that are coming, you have to do it. IT. They want people, listen, everybody that works in IT, finish sometime because they are companies, clearing offices. They want someone to recome and rewire. They want In the police department, every 3 years, they change their technology. They change their whole computer. Do you know where these computers go? It goes into a different department. And then what they do, they give it to the community. So they use it as a program to get young children off the street. So they teach them about assembling computers in the community. They use communities like Ghanaian Canadian Association of Ontario. We can go into the police department and say, we want you to come and give a talk. We have a lot of young men. We want you to get through to them. So come and speak to them. So when you're coming here with IT, these are the jobs in this department, okay? But when you are coming here, you can compete with me for customer service, or you can compete with someone who grew up in this part of the world with communication, because while you are communicating, your brain is telling you to lie. You are an African. Your brain, they tell you to lie. So if you are communicating, they ask you a question, you have to swallow your saliva before you talk. I studied that about Ghanaians. When you ask them a question, the first instinct is to lie. Nothing to lie about also. So communication, it has become very difficult, and sometimes they put themselves in trouble when there is no trouble. So you want to get a job that you don't have to speak. You don't speak. Oh, yes, no. Yes, I'm here. I come. Because all these technicians that come to my house, all these technicians that goes into the schools, the big buildings, to build and to create and to wire and to lay tiles and all those things, they don't speak English. Yes, me, I don't know. When you call a plumber don't speak. Most of them don't. Me go and the thing, they say this and they say, the ones who speaks English, very well, good. They come in, they explain the process. Some of them don't even speak to you. They say, talk to the management or talk to the people who sent them there. So in this, and these are the people making chobo. Or if you're coming as an electrician, or, the poles everywhere, even in a mountain, in a village, in a town, every corner in this country uses some level of energy, currency. Every corner is building. So imagine you have a profession that the country needs you. That's why when you go into the Canadian Immigration Portal, they ask you, you see the National Occupational NAC, National Occupational number or whatever. That number, they ask you, do you have any experience with the National Occupation number that starts with 622 N70 and the rest of the numbers? These are carpenter, construction, electrician, telecommunication, wire, every boggin, everything. You see, as we are speaking, the people that sit behind, young guys, the people who are making sure that I'm not using some words. As soon as I use some words, boom, bra, they drop me like a bomb. They drop you. They are young people. They are young people. Do you understand? Cannot speak. Some of the Indians cannot speak, but they hold the jobs in this country. They have the contracts. You understand? It's about money. Money, currency is the same in every language. It is money. Two in India is the same two in Canada, in everywhere, the whole around the world, either China or whatever. Most people that owns business in this country don't speak much English because the country needs them. The country is what the national occupation. No, it's not the code. It's not the code. It's not the code. When you go into the Canadian thing, it will tell you. I know that it's not the national occupational code. No, but it is a NOC, the NOC number. So you come here, you need to be able to be a cyber security officer. You need to know the computer very well. You need to know wires. By you looking at a building, you need to know the materials the building was built with. These are the people that are making money. Or when you look at me, you need to see through me. Oh, you are a doctor. You need to see my brain. You are some, even that one, you can get in. the psychologists and all those things, because again, it is a culture. In Africa, a sin is not a sin, depending on who did the sin. So psychologists, me, I will not go to an African psychologist. You cannot cure me because you are judging me based on who I am. An African psychologist, a Ghanaian African psychologist, a doctor, they judge you. Or a therapist or a counselor, they judge you. It is a culture. They are culturally not permitted to see everybody the same. And that is the way of life for the Africans. So you can find a psychologist unless they are born here. Then they grew up by seeing it as it is. But as an African, you can come here, I'm a psychologist, I'm coming here, I'm a lawyer, I am coming here, you're a lawyer, and African lawyers, they are scraping all those, they are only chopping because this era, even now, people are learning how to process things on their own. So it is not easy. It is not easy. If you're a lawyer and you're coming as a law student, or if you're coming as you want to be good and you want to be able to create your own firm, open your own thing, there's a lot of people that don't have time. There's a lot of landlords, young people who needs lawyers to process things for them. Bring this here, give them, help them with this one. They will come, even specialize in trafficking and ticketing. These are, legal aid. Landlords can hire you to do things and do that. Or better yet, go into those insurance company or schools as a lawyer. Let me tell you, there's a young girl, my school here. I saw those people that handles issues, mediation. Do you know how much money the lawyers makes? Young, do you know how much money? Company lawyers, do you know how much money? They make good money. Every 2 weeks, or more than 6,000 or 7,000 something dollars every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. So there are certain qualifications you cannot come here with. You need to be machine operator. You need to be machine operator. You need to know how to handle the machines. Remember that they were using you as a machine around the whole world. Countries who are now needing your service, they know they cannot use you, the black man, as a machine anymore. So you need to be able to know how to use the machine, how to use machines, how to use systems, how to use human being. You need to understand the brain capacity. How big is the people's brain in the head? Guys, share the video. So come here with a profession that the country is looking for. If you're going to go to Dubai, what kind of profession? Look at the Dubai citizens. See what they don't have. If you're going to China, see what China don't have. How China can benefit from you. If you're going to Canada, Germany, see what Canada or Germany can benefit from you. But if you come here and you think this is Africa, where because you speak Brofo Kakra, Brofo Kolo Kolo, so you think you can impress, here we use simple English. How people, because of human relations. Human relations. So you read that thing, you understand. When they drop, African drop English, the English go change the whole atmosphere, and they think they are speaking English, but they are not making sense. So one difficulties I find academics and all those people that are coming to this country having difficulties with is job. And they are not willing to bend. Because let me tell you, when you go into a schools, there are a lot of jobs that are independent. Like right now, there are a lot of certificates you can earn yourself and be making $50 per hour. You can be a translator. You can be an English as a second language teacher. You can be a Chi teacher. You be good in one language and open classes. These are community service work. These are community work. You can work as if you know how to write, then why don't you write grants? Look for problems in the system and write grants to the government and say, oh, I like to help the ladies and your office can be, listen, To even go to the Ghana consulate and get a passport is like a pulling a teeth. Our own people. So deal with those issues. Deal with those issues. Deal with people who cannot speak proper or get a certain resources and learn the system. Learn the system and say, but you are writing grant and they are seeing you as a what? A non-for-profit organization helping the minority and the community you are in to access information. My brother, my sister, that is what you can do. But some of them has called themselves lawyers instead of being a non-for-profit organization. A lawyer in this country, a Nigerian lawyer or Ghana lawyer, hey, I don't go say yes, I'm here. I don't go say I'm here. You go to them, something that they should charge you $1,000. They go mention, they will put on the grandmother who is sick. They will put on the cousin who is bothering them every night with phone call. They will also add the fees of every girlfriend they have. They will add the combine and everything, and they want to charge you that money. Hey, Africans. Hey, draw a little drop of water makes a mighty ocean. They don't know those concepts. So they want to charge you. They want to create a pond. They want to create a whole ocean in one day. That is our problem. That is why we don't use their services. And that is why they are not successful. Even our customer service stinks. You use a Ghanaian, listen, even shipment, you go and ship your something, and I'm a customer, I'm going to bother you. What the fuck? Like, I paid my money, and then when you are calling for, information, and then, hey, boy, yeah. A white man will say, I'm so sorry, you know, it was supposed to take this long, and then, you know what, give me a few, minute, give me a couple days, I'm going to call you back. They won't make it a problem, Ghana man. Or no, just wama. I just said, or no any sick now they call it. It's not good. Our services are poor. Our services are poor. They go tian. I said here, it be the money you use, ship my things for me. Or I come buy away something. The thing no good. I come back, return them. Now you go tell me, say, na so it be is. If na so it be is, why don't I go and Africans? Hey, be steady, we are in another man land. Let's make this place a home. Let's make it conducive. Let's make it livable for us. Let's provide services that we are happy with. Okay? Let's provide a service we are happy with. Go into the right professions and be the people we want. Be the banker. Go to the bank. If you are a number person, go to the bank. Search for teller job. Go to a teller. Go and apply for teller. If you are a country person, go and apply for. We need it. And then when you go into teller, don't stay in the telling. No. Study. Go and learn those special skills and the specialties. Now, the one I just mentioned. No. And be a mortgage advisor. Be whatever financial advisor. So when we come there, you go give us the loan. You go click. You go push behind the mouse and click, because we be your people. If you are there at the bank, help your people, okay? Help your people. That is the difficulties we find in this country. We are not in the right professions, Oga? So, either go. Guys, share video, no matter why. Go share the video and let it be something that if you're choosing a course, don't come here with those. There are so many trade job you can do. And that one, it is easier for you to write the SOP. Okay? It is easier for you to write on it and say, you are coming to study this because back in your country, there is a lack of this and your plan is to do this because you've seen one or two companies and they are thriving, they are making it, but it is not enough. So you want to go into it in order for you to come back and be successful at what you do, and you have a plan in also connecting and networking with other African countries to provide such services, and that is your purpose of interest. Bye-bye.